We are opening the last figure of Wave 1 of Masters of the Universe Origins, Man-at-Arms. Let's talk about old Man-at-Arms here and talk about his figure. Let's get it opened up. I don't know why I ended up opening Man-at-Arms last, but here we are. Beast Barrage mini comic. And I finally got smart and got some scissors to cut the straps. Man-at-Arms is the one that freaked me out in the package because he was, I could tell he was missing stuff. Obviously that's just comes in his accessory bag. Why he looks so weirdly green. Because a lot of his armor pieces are his accessories. Which is too bad if you're collecting them in the packaging. Because he won't be wearing them. 3 pieces of armor. Then his old standard club weapon accessory there. He's all green there. Of course, I never owned the original figures. I do know that originally, Man-at-Arms did not have his mustache from the cartoon. And so I'm actually really happy that they went with the mustache version for this one. See a little bit of his hair on the back there. Because I'm mostly collecting these just kind of based on my memories of watching the cartoon and dreaming I had the toys, so that was just a cool detail that they added in, that they went with the cartoon look, gave him the mustache instead of the no mustache face, although that would have been a good alternate head or something like that. Maybe we'll get a deluxe Man-at-Arms later where you can have the old head, because that'd probably make just kind of a good Royal Guard, because they kind of had some of the same armor style. So yeah, I never had the original ones, so I'm going to have to figure out where he gets all his pieces on here. This is the left arm piece. And if you did need a guide, if you weren't super familiar with Man-at-Arms, his picture on the back there too shows all the pieces where they're supposed to go, all on the left side. But I also like to point out just, you know, he has these molded cuff things, and I'm sure the original figure didn't have them colored, but I feel like it was probably a budget thing from the freaking 80s. So why would you not go ahead and just add that on for the Origins line? I don't think He-Man's original figure had the cuffs painted. You can kind of see it in the back of my book over here that he didn't have the cuffs painted. Also the extra detail, 2 colors on the boots. So why are we leaving these unpainted? I don't understand what the point is, because if you're trying to make them exactly like the originals, you didn't do that on several others. Kind of the same deal on Beastman of why his cuffs weren't. Just go ahead and color them in now. I know it's... We don't need to follow the budget from the 80s of paint apps. That'd be kind of my only complaint, is just that these are kind of the very, very realized versions of the original figures with more articulation and more details and things here and there. So I feel like they probably should have went ahead and colored that in. I believe the dots are a knee. So his packaging says Master of Weapons, but most of his accessories here are pieces of armor. Should be the Master of Armor. Got his helmet and all the armor pieces. And that's cool. It's kind of like you can take them off and things like that, but you gotta keep in mind the old figures were just 5 points of articulation. The head moved, the arms moved up and down. These have a lot more motion. So actually with these attached pieces, when you are moving it around and articulating it, they slip and fall off really easily. It's actually not super ideal that these are separate pieces, because they just kind of slip and fall off a lot because they're not just on a one movement arm now. They're on a multiple jointed arm. That makes it a little more complicated to stay on. So not super great if you were playing with them. You'd probably have a hard time keeping those on as a kid. I'd end up tossing it off. Maybe the leg piece isn't so bad. But if he was constantly moving his arms. Man-at-Arms curse is his arms. But that's my only complaint there. So, of course, his like club weapon, even though he's the Master of Weapons, all he has is a club. Kind of the lamest weapons here. He's like looking at everybody going like, oh, magic wands, magic swords, shields, the snake staff, a whip. I have this. Whip. Okay. Oh, crap. Whereas in the cartoon, you know, even in the intro, it kind of had like wrist lasers and stuff. So if you were playing around with these, you know, you'd pretend he'd have his other weaponry and such. Of course, Man-at-Arms is pretty important that he's the one that does know that Prince Adam is the one that's turning into He-Man, so he can kind of help him get away to call He-Man, wink, 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 wink. The only character that knows his secret that might be a little more important to things is the Sorceress, but we don't have a figure of her just yet here. But for more episodes, definitely Man-at-Arms was there a lot more and assisted Prince Adam in that way to, you know, get He-Man into the fight. And of course he's Teela's father, and then she has her own kind of history there, and with the sorceress and all that. It's just kind of a cool little connection and backstory and everything. Kind of connected a lot of the characters that way with the family, and kind of a cool setup there with the magic of the sorceress and just his Man-at-Arms technology, the kind of security of the royal family and as the royal guard, and having the daughter that's the captain. Pretty awesome. So we didn't do a removable helmet either then. That would have been another bonus kind of thing there. Didn't go that route. We will take this off just to see what that looks like. I did always kind of like his old kind of knights, you know, kind of extra shield there. I always kind of like that design, the way it was like. He's kind of technological, but he's still like an old-timey knight. So he just got his like green outfit, but it's like the muscle again, where it's just like, hey, oh yes, I work out. Yeah. He just, I don't know, he don't look right so buff. Because everybody's as buff as He-Man, then what's so special about He-Man? But that's just the bodies they always use. I feel like He-Man should have got a special, musclier body like this, and everybody else could have got maybe a little less of a physique, since they're not magically enhanced super muscle bros. But that's why most of them have their little chest piece extra, you know. Beastman, Skeletor, all of them have their extra clothing piece to hide that. My god, my bra has been unhooked. He-Man, could you connect it back? I don't remember that episode. So unfortunately, a lot of these, the appearances are better for the comic, but then now you just threw in Man-at-Arms with the mustache that's not like the comics. So now it's like, it's back to, it's serving my use of collecting them, which is, I want them as for the cartoon, because I missed out on Matty Collector and the ones that look more like the cartoon. So I'm happy about the mustache, but I feel like if you were like really into all the comics and stuff, it's like, oh, here's some, you know, old school but kind of updated figures in the Origins line, and then they throw the stash on Man-at-Arms and really like throw a monkey wrench into your collection plans for more comic appearances, like Teela in her snake outfit and He-Man using the axe and shield more. So interesting decision. I like it, but I bet some people probably are not very happy that he is changed this way. This is probably the most changed Origins figure, other than maybe Skeletor's face. But this is a big change, I would say, even though it's just a mustache. Pretty big deal. But I'm happy with it. Yeah, that's the final figure of this line. If you want to see the rest of these opened up here, I'll have the videos up here, the playlist you can check. What a great start. The first wave, and they all look awesome together just like this. My name is Duncan. Duncan Donuts. No one's ever made that joke before at all, have they, He-Man? Thank God there's no Orko figure. What? There is.